All right, man. So welcome back. We're giving y'all our NBA playoff preview. And last episode I told you that I wanted to kind of get into some TV stuff, man. And hopefully it's been enough time now. Twitter has spoiled this for y'all anyway. So I don't know how many of y'all out there are fans of one of the best TV shows on TV or on streaming or whatever you want to call it now. HBO Max is where I watch it at. Succession. This is not an ad for HBO Max or Succession, but one of my favorite shows, man. And episode 3, they had the third episode of their final season. And let me preface this: two of my favorite shows and two of what I think are some of the best shows on TV in recent times, anyway, are in their final season. So you got Succession, and you also have Snowfall, right? Succession just had their third episode of their season finale, and it's interesting to kind of see how the story arc will end for both of these series, man, that people are huge fans of. The main character, the guy that kind of holds it all together, right, in Succession, was essentially killed off on the third episode of the season. And it was such a surprise because it was nothing to set it up. They didn't draw it out. It was just like, he's gone. I'll set this up. Connor, who is the oldest son of Logan, um, Logan Roy. If you don't watch the show, you should watch it. It's in the fourth season. Some great writing, man. Some great comedic moments in this series' its history. I don't even know they intend to be comedic. It's just great TV, great theater, great drama. Shout out to Kendall Roy's character when he got up there and rapped. He was the notorious ROY at one of his dad's birthday party a couple seasons ago. But in this particular episode, Connor Roy, who is the oldest son from a previous marriage or previous marriage, because Logan's had a lot of those throughout his life or a lot of relationships. He is the son that is kind of the never do well, right? He's running for president this season, or last season he started his presidential campaign. He's still running for president, and he's attempting to make sure he holds on to his 1% of the vote. That's his goal. He has this wife that he has met. She was a theater. Well, I think she was an escort. I have to go back and kind of remember that, but he, funded a play that she starred in because she wanted to be an actress. So he's kind of wooed this young lady, and finally, is going to marry her. This is their wedding day. They're having a wedding out on a yacht, and it's a big to do. And start the episode off with Kendall. Excuse me, not Kendall. We start the episode off with one of the kids getting a phone call from dad and saying, and I don't know how I forgot his name, but Macaulay Culkin's brother plays this role. He gets a phone call. He's like the youngest son, the youngest child, and the kids are fighting with dad, right? They're about to sell this company that's a $1 billion company, and Waystar, and they're selling it to this Swedish investor guy, and they're waiting to get their cut, but they're in competition with their dad to buy some other businesses. And it's always just kind of been kind of a head-on collision to see who would actually take over and run the company. We've gotten to the point now in this series where the siblings who are all at each other's throats are now together against the dad, I guess, which is kind of funny. But Kendall, excuse me, not Kendall, Logan calls him and says, "Hey, I need you to fire Jerry." Jerry is the acting CEO because of a huge scandal that happened with some yachts and some boats. These people own theme parks and all kind of stuff. There was a big sex scandal that happened that they covered up. And since Logan Roy is the CEO of all this stuff, he effectively stepped down. Yada yada yada. Go check the series out. Okay, it's cool. I'm just trying to bring you up to speed on it, right? So anyway, in this episode, he kind of does his normal thing. Hey, I need you to take care of this. And they always acquiesce to their dad because they're just scared little kids, even they're grown adults, and they have, billions of dollars from their dad's fortune, his self-made guy. And it's kind of based on, give you some more background. It's really kind of, I think they based it on Rupert Murdoch. So if you watch the doc about Rupert Murdoch and his kids and how he's kind of ran his companies, and that's essentially who Logan Roy is playing, the role of Rupert Murdoch, right? Anyway, he calls him. He's about to board a flight, but he's like, "I need this done today. I need you to fire her. She didn't really handle the scandal the way I wanted it to. I had to pay too much of a fine. That's not cool. Go ahead and take care of this. And why would he ever tell his dad no? Now, the funny thing about this is his character, Macaulay Culkin, and I keep calling him Macaulay Culkin's brother. Got to do better. I guess I'll write these notes down next time. But he is in a weird sort of like sexual tension relationship with Jerry. Jerry is like as old as his dad, first and foremost, and an employee of his because he's a part of the board on the company. And he sends her like weird pictures of his genitals and all this stuff or whatever, makes weird sexual advances with her, all this stuff. She's holding this over his head because the dad finds out. He thinks he's sending a pic of his private area to Jerry, but he mistakenly sends it to his dad. And his dad, while they're in a call, and he's waiting for Jerry to give him a little, like response or something. And his dad is like, "What is going on, dude? Like, what's wrong with you?" So yeah, he's a twisted soul, man. Anyway, so he says, "Yeah, you got to fire Jerry, man." And he gets on the plane, and he's like, "All right, cool. I got to go in this wedding, and now I got to fire her." He's like, "I'm gonna talk to Jerry and tell her yada yada yada." I don't want to tell the whole episode. You can go watch it, but he has an uncomfortable conversation with Jerry. Jerry's like, "Yeah, whatever, man. Cool. All right." He's all kind of in his feelings. He doesn't know, like, he doesn't really have any friends. He's a weirdo. All of these people really are kind of weird. It's kind of a good look at what, I guess, when you get to that certain status of being a billionaire, man, you kind of got to, those people, they got to kind of step on a lot of people to get up there, and they grow up a little bit differently if you grow up in that environment, I guess, right? So anyway, they get a phone call. Greg, who is Tom. Tom is Shiv is Logan's daughter. Tom is her husband. They're on the outs because he is partnered against his wife to try to make sure he's positioning himself to have a role in the company. And he goes against her and kind of turns his back and is a backstabber, tells Logan about what the plans are for his kids, what they're trying to do to be, and gives him a heads up. And Logan's able to stop him because he's just too smart for his kids, man. And, the master is always better. The teacher is always better than the pupil, right? So Tom tries to call Shiv. She doesn't answer because she's thinking, this guy's, they're on the outs. Like I said, they're estranged from each other at the moment. He ends up calling the other, I think it's Kieran, maybe. I don't know if it's Kieran Roy. Pardon me for butchering this guy's name, this character's name, but give me a second, look it up now, man. Roman, that's who it is. I don't know why I call him Kieran. Roman. I don't know why couldn't get that out. Roman, anyway. Roman is gets a phone call, and Tom immediately says, "Hey, like, your dad's not doing well." Now, if you watch this show, Logan is like the master manipulator of these kids, man. So it kind of feels like we don't see Logan. We just saw him on the phone with him. He looked perfectly fine. He has his mistress with him. Nothing looks like it's wrong. And all of a sudden we get a call. And we kind of in the background see like an old body on the ground. They're on this flight to Sweden. And you think, okay, well, maybe this is just a ploy because he's trying to get over on his kids. And, he's trying to get them back into the graces and trying to, butter them up so he can make the sale of this company, get the money, and do what he wants to do because he always has his control. He's the puppet master of these kids, right? And he doesn't trust that they can run the company anyway. That's why he's selling it. So they get that phone call, and it just kind of progresses throughout the series. You get this one long kind of cut and take, and I don't want to get too technical on y'all, but it's like 28 minutes worth of like a shot where they're just kind of getting everybody's reaction, and eventually they're doing CPR on him and all this stuff, man. And it's like, dang, is Logan really dead, man? Like, it's crazy because we get this scare in the first season that he's going to die, and he makes it out of there. He's like the Teflon done. You kind of think he's had heart problems. He just keeps beating the case. And eventually you think, man, maybe he'll never die. But this show is called Succession, so they have to actually put somebody in charge of this business at some point. You would think, right? So great show, man. Chef's kiss, masterpiece. He does die, and now it kind of sets the table for the remaining 7 episodes of, are they going to sell this company now? The markets start to take a dip when he dies. They have all these things to think about. And each one of these kids who finally had kind of pulled together and said, we're going to do something together. Now it seems like it's going to be every man for himself. And it's not just them. It's the other members of the team or board who were the acting CEO, Jerry, who thought she was about to be fired. Now this guy's dead. She's kind of running point on stuff. So she wants her piece of the pie. the consigliere and the people that have worked with this guy for all this time, they're saying these kids, he didn't trust the kids. Why should we trust them? They don't know what they're doing. Everybody wants to be in charge now. Kendall, who originally, as the show started, he's an addict. He's had some issues. So, and dad didn't really trust to let him run the show, but he thought he was next in line. And that's what we kind of see. No, he's not in line. That's how the series kind of starts. When he says, yeah, I'm not going to let you run it. I don't trust any of you guys at this point. And he's kind of making them work to see who can be the best. So Kendall does kind of in this moment take the reins and say, hey, let's regroup ourselves. We got to do this and make sure we do this right, because this is our family's legacy. If we do something crazy and don't announce this, the markets may mess up or crash, or, we could have an investigation from the SEC at that point. So he's kind of showing that, okay, maybe I can take the reins now. Maybe I'll be the guy in charge. Shiv is just kind of brokenhearted. She seemed like early on in the series, she was the smart one and the one that was going to kind of run things. But, it'll be interesting to see how all this plays out now, man. So that's kind of my wrap up on that. Now, I've also been watching Snowfall, and the big question is Teddy going to die, man? If you watch Snowfall, Teddy, it looked like Teddy had the drop on Franklin, man. He had him tied up. Oso was supposed to show up. Oso gets stopped by the DEA. The Russian guy, Russian Roy, whatever his name is, I don't know. The Spanish-Russian red comrade comes in and saves the day, kills the DEA guys, and gets Oso free. So Oso comes to help Franklin. Franklin's hanging. He's about to die. He's about to get injected by Teddy after he's killed Teddy's dad. It's been a great season so far, man. They already killed Jerome off, man. One time for Uncle Jerome, man. One of the great characters in TV history as well. So tonight's episode will air. So like I said, I guess it's going to be a continuation. They're still in the warehouse. We'll see what happens with Teddy, and are Oso and Franklin going to actually finish the job, man, and go ahead and kill Teddy. I feel like Teddy deserves to die. He's killed Franklin's dad. He stole his $73 million. Like, he's done all this crap, man, and won't let this boy get free. Hopefully Franklin finally gets the job done. I don't think Franklin's getting his money though, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see how this series kind of playing out though. They're a little bit ahead. I think we only got 3 more episodes left for Snowfall. So 7 for Succession, 3 for Snowfall, man. But both of them have had Succession's always had great writing. Both, and Snowfall, even though the show, of course, was originally started by John Singleton and he passed away, they've done a great job of kind of finishing the story arc with these characters, man. And hopefully they don't disappoint us, man. It's tough to kind of land the plane, but we'll see what happens with those, man. So you guys tell me what you think. If you're a fan of those shows. If you're not a fan of them, I kind of gave away some stuff, but you got 5 or 6 and 4 seasons to catch up on. So maybe you'll forget all that stuff by the time you actually get to these episodes. But I suggest watching them if you like Power. And I kind of got off. I watched the first rendition of Power. I haven't watched any of the other ones. I know a lot of people are fans of those shows. Me in particular, I got off when Power is just too much for me, man. So these shows are, I won't say a little bit more realistic, but to me, it's just better writing, better acting. But it's always good for me to see black faces on TV anyway. So I don't got nothing against Power and 50. Keep doing your thing. He's creating his own little universe, the 50 Power universe, which is cool. But I suggest going to see Snowfall, checking out Snowfall and checking out Succession as well. 2 great shows, man. That's all I got for you today, man. Again, please tell a friend to like like this if you like what you're listening to, and also subscribe, man. Set your notifications. Tell a friend. This is, like I said, a labor of love at the moment, but I love sports. I love culture. I love TV. I love giving you guys, my thoughts on things. It's a lot of blowhards out there. Do we need another blowhard? Yes, you do. You need the one and only blowhard, the know-it-all. Earl knows it all, right? So, again, man, if you like what I'm doing, cut on those notifications, man. Subscribe, cut your notification bell on, and then tell a friend, man. Make sure you like it. It ain't going to cost you nothing to like, man. A like is just a click of a button. So, until next time, man, signing off. We'll be back. The playoffs will start at the time of our next recording, so we'll kind of get into what's going on with those series and whatever else pops up in the world. I'll be sure to give you my take on it, man. Thanks, and y'all have a good one.